Hi friends, this is Winslow with Vibrant Health Evolution. I'm going to do a little session here working on flexion and extension after a knee replacement. So I'm about 7 weeks out, and yesterday I worked pretty hard in physical therapy. Kind of able to push it a bit now, but then it'll get swollen, right? So then I ice it a lot. So I iced it this morning to get some of the swelling out before doing the process of working on the flexion and extension. One of the key pieces of my success in getting my knee to bend, I feel like, has been massaging it a lot and getting in there. So bending the knee in and then finding any place where there's tension, find that spot and then really press hard and hold it. And then grab the foot and do a little pumping and rocking here back and forth. So just pulling up on the foot. And I'm not actually feeling any tension too much right now in any particular spot. Maybe right behind my knee. So I might get in there behind the knee and give a little massage. Here, massaging the knee, working the kneecap, just loosening things up. Here. And then the strap is helpful. If you can't reach your toes, you can use the strap to help pull yourself down, get a little hamstring stretch, or you can use your hands on your feet. Walk the hips back, working the extension, so pressing down on the knee and pulling up on the foot. So depending where you're at in your healing process, you may or may not want to do this. And this is a great stretch on the calf. So I have pretty good, I have good flexion and extension. I've gotten to 150 on the flexion, and now I'm just trying to maintain that. And I have full extension. Some people develop more scar tissue than others, and that I know sounds really difficult because it's hard to get the flexion if you have a lot of scar tissue. So break it up by really pressing and holding, and when I find a tender spot, I'll press and hold it for 30 to 90 seconds. Sometimes it takes a while to get it to release. So really pressing, a lot of pressure, holding it, and sometimes I'll move it along like a line where it's hurting, but you have to give it quite a bit of time. It takes a little patience. And in the beginning, I didn't use much pressure with like gravity pulling this down or me pressing and pulling it in. Now I can do that, but if you're earlier on, take your other foot, put it behind the heel and give it a little support so that it's not too much pressure pulling down, gravity, or with your hands. And so you can use this leg, and the bouncing is helpful because it kind of just coaxes it a little at a time into a deeper bend. And then if you want more pressure, you can put the foot on top and use that heel to press a little bit. You do a lot of ankle rotations and flexion and extension. Like this, finding the spots where it needs a little massage, a little coaxing. So I find to maintain my flexion, I have to really spend time doing this, 2, 3, even 4 times a day, working it. So go into your max bend here with your heel on the floor and then just pump the foot. Pumping it back and forth. I haven't tried this before, but this could work here. Use the strap. Usually what I do is I just take this foot and I use this to pull it in a little deeper. Pull the toe up as high as you can to decrease the bend a little. It takes a lot of patience. I do think it sounds important, just talking to other people at PT, sounds important to get this, start working this flexion. I started working it from the very beginning, very gently, but doing a ton of massage and pressing and holding. And those sensitive spots in the knee, which was a lot of them, a lot of different places in the beginning. And then I'm going to extend it out here. And once you have it fully extended, just give it a little wiggle. So now this is pretty comfortable for me to just lay with my legs straight, but for a while it wasn't. Even just having the legs straight like this was painful as I worked to get that extension. So sometimes just laying like this and then counting to 10. You know, trying to hold it 10 seconds before you bend it. And if you can make it 10 seconds, you can probably make it 10 more, and then 10 more. So flex, I do a lot of this. So flex and release the quad muscle. You're just tightening and releasing. And start by doing, I'm gonna do like 20 fast. And that's 20 there, and then I'm going to hold it. So squeezing as hard as I can, and then I'm going to imagine I'm leaving my leg on the ground, but I'm lifting my heel, so that increases the squeeze a little more. Hold that for 10, and then some leg lifts. Squeezing as hard as I can. It's hard to engage your quad muscle when there's swelling, but it's really important to work that quad muscle and start to get the strength back. And relax. Let's bend it again. Okay, I'm going to go for a full bend again, however far you can bring it in. And just meet yourself where you're at. Right, it's just comparing ourselves just gives us more misery in life. Meet yourself where you're at, you do your best, forget the rest. Yeah, pump the foot. And then if you want to try this move where you sit up and try and move your butt closer to your heel. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get much closer here. And then pump the foot. And breathe. It helps to relax your nervous system, you know, if you just use your breath to concentrate on relaxing the nerves. We don't heal as well when we're in a stress response, because if we're in a stress response, healing is not the #1 concern, right? We're in survival, so keeping your mind relaxed, your body relaxed, use the breath. Take a deep breath and just imagine relaxing from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes. And let's try this move where we potentially, let's see if I can grab the foot here. And just pull up. I'm going to do a little rocking. It's pretty intense. It's pretty tight. Right here now. So going gently. And I do feel like that the healthy eating has helped my healing process. So I eat tons of fruits and veggies, which is a nutrient-rich way of eating. Lots and lots of nutrients in fruits and veggies, healing powers. Do the lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox smoothie in the morning. I generally avoid fat before noon and most of the time before dinner. And then just have avocado as my fat at dinner. And let's straighten it. Straighten it. Use your strap here if you need to, if you want to. And grab the foot and get a little hamstring stretch, pulling it in. Place your hand above the knee and use that to press the knee a little straighter. And breathe and pull the toes down. Can't see my toes, I see that, but using your strap on the ball of your foot, you can pull the toes down. And then just to get a little stretch here, grab as high as you can on your strap with your opposite hand, and then cross the leg over the body. And it's fine if this knee bends, you can have it bent or straight. I'm actually straightening it and bending it, just experimenting and seeing what feels good. Looking over your opposite shoulder. Everything gets tight I'm sure you've noticed, but like the IT band, the hamstrings, your calf muscles, it's all working, trying to build back strength, and things get tight, so stretching is really helpful. And let's grab with the same hand as the leg, and then we'll take it to the opposite side. Stretch. This is going to stretch like inner thigh. With your leg that's straight, make that leg active and press it down into the floor. Your toes should be pointed straight up towards the sky. And then stretch your opposite arm out to the side. I'm getting a good calf stretch here too because I'm pulling back on the toes. Lengthen through your torso. Try and root your right hip more down towards the floor. Or your opposite hip. And then bending your opposite leg, cross this foot over if you're able to. This foot can be on the floor, but see if you can cross it over. And then flex your ankle so that your ankle stays square, so your ankle's not rotating inward. But flex the ankle and then press the outer edge of your foot into your other thigh. And maybe you can get a little bit of a grab on your thigh. Pull that in. This one is much harder than it was before I had the knee replacement, so just trying to get back to ground zero here. Find the spot where you're feeling tension and let's give it a little press. And hold. And when you're content with that, bring the knee down, straighten the leg, give it a little shake. And then let's work the flexion again. Bring the heel in as far as you can. Pull it in. Get your max depth there, and then pump the foot. So at this point, it should be hopefully bending a little more than it did at the beginning of the work here. I'm gonna try and keep my foot there. I'm just sitting. On your forward, you can come. If it feels like it wants to release a little more, you can move your butt forward. I'm going to find the spot here where there's tension and press and hold. Take a deep breath. Okay, so I hope that that's helpful, that you got a little extra flexion and extension, but I find working this, 3 or 4 times throughout the day is how I'm keeping the current flexion that I have, and hopefully when the swelling goes down a little more, I'll be able to get a little bit more flexion. and gently release. But check in with your PT and with your doctor and find out what's best for you. All right, this is Winslow with Vibrant Health Evolution. Happy healing. Namaste.